You see, whatever. We're just gonna have a conversation. We'll see what they want.
Should we flank you?
Yeah, you can flank me. Don't worry about it.
What we may do is we'll do kind of the group thing, and we may do a quick one-on-one.
That's fine.
After this, and then you get back in the car.
Or
Lead
walk.
terror, or whatever.
That's right. So, want me to start talking or?
Yeah, we're
Ready?
ready if you had something prepared.
No, I just want to say that we're here for the beginning of a really important time for Seattle. It's Welcome Back Week. We have been through the most difficult 17 months our city's ever experienced historically, with the global pandemic, the impacts on health, on our economy, our downtown core and shutting down, so many small businesses closing and people losing their jobs. And we're finally at the point where we can start reopening, and we're going to have a series of events. I want everybody to come downtown. I'm here with two great partners today who've helped us plan. We're going to have kickoff events at Chinatown International District and Pioneer Square. We're going to be doing other events at Westlake, and people can come. There'll be a series of things. There's going to be vendors and street music, and there's going to be food trucks. And we've really worked hard to make sure that as we prepare for this, that we can help those small businesses that have been struggling the most. And so we've done a reach out, and with the funds that we have, we're going to be able to fund a number of small businesses throughout the downtown core and really have people come back and enjoy and reclaim our city. We're reopening, we're recovering, we're going to do it together. So let me introduce two of the partners we have here and let them talk a little bit about what we're doing. Then we can answer some questions. Chris of Pioneer Square can talk to you some about what they're doing here, and then we have our great partner in the intentionalists that is also doing some work.
Perfect.
And you might have to spell your name for them, Chris, just because they'll, if they use it,
Yeah.
they won't use that part.
Chris
but
Woodward, CHRIS WOOD,
You have to do that, too.
I'm the Business Development Director with the Alliance for Pioneer Square. You know, Pioneer Square is ready to welcome back the Seattle community. Our businesses are open and ready to welcome people from, Seattle and the broader King County area to enjoy, the fine dining, boutique shopping experiences, views of the waterfront, and more in this vibrant public space. So we welcome the community to come join us on July 24th in Occidental Mall for the Welcome Back Weekend event in Pioneer Square.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Here, stand so they can hear you.
Yeah, so if you do not find out, then we won't hear you.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to spell my name as well?
Yeah.
Laura, Laura. Last name Kleise, Clise, with intentionalists.
Tell them about some of the work you've been doing.
So
So what brings you here?
we're here because we're excited to be partners in continuing to elevate and celebrate the brick and mortar small businesses at the heart of our communities. We believe that where we spend our money matters, and we're excited to be collaborating with the city and neighborhood partners to make it easy and fun for folks throughout the greater Seattle area to come downtown, through Belltown, downtown, Pioneer Square, and Chinatown International District, to enjoy some promotions, to get to know the business owners and the stories behind these wonderful places, and to spend like it matters.
So today's Monday, it's the 12th. This is sort of reopening week. What's going to happen on each one of those days?
I'm happy to go first.
Okay.
So, to kick off Welcome Weeks, first of all, Intentionalist has opened a tab at Donor Box, which is a Vietnamese. Intentionalist has opened a tab at Donor Box, which is a Vietnamese woman-owned German donor restaurant. Folks can stop by and enjoy a delicious donor sandwich or wrap on us. In addition, today we've started a campaign called Receipt and Receive, where everyone is invited to upload their receipts from downtown small businesses and then receive incentives and rewards for doing so. Finally, we're also excited to be doing a special promotion showcasing Chinatown International District businesses. We're distributing Welcome Back coupons, each of which will provide up to $10 off purchases from select Chinatown International District businesses starting on Friday, the 17th.
Yeah, and just, oh, sorry. So I think that nothing really important. So the first kickoff is July 17, 18 at Chinatown International District. And we have to remember, it was one of the parts of our city that was impacted first during the COVID pandemic. When COVID hit, because of some of the anti-Asian sentiment, businesses saw a huge drop off there. So we as a city, let's come together and go back. It's going to be great. There's going to be street performances, there'll be great food, there'll be entertainment, July 17th and 18th. And then we're going to follow that up the following weekend, the 24th. We're going to be right here in Pioneer Square having a celebration, and then on the 25th in Westlake. And in all of these, you're going to see our city coming back. I mean, if you look here today, people who come back to Pioneer Square are going to be surprised because while they've been gone, Occidental Park has brand new exhibit and reconstruction there. There's a brand new part of the park. And you'll see it's much quieter because the viaduct's gone, light gets to the sidewalk. Pioneer Square is really going to be on the road to recovery. Chinatown International District, we've already been working with small businesses. We're helping 500 small businesses throughout the downtown core, 500 small businesses. And the majority of them are businesses owned by BIPOC community, but we're seeing small businesses owned by women, by people who had to shut their doors. Now they're coming back. So it's going to be a great tribute to show we in Seattle knew we got through this together, and the way we recover and come back is together as well.
How big a hole is the city and downtown especially in that we have to climb out of to get back to roughly what was normal before? Clearly some of those businesses may not be back, some of them may be. Whatever is defined as returning to normal, which is not going to happen right away, but obviously there's a lot of people downtown now, so.
Yeah. So look, and the hard thing is when you shut down, you shut down. And starting back up is harder than shutting down. And we saw when those large employers left downtown because of COVID and had people started working from home, that's when we started seeing our first small businesses struggle and some storefronts getting boarded up and the like. So to turn that dial back, it means people coming back. We're already seeing some really positive signs though. Our hotel occupancy rate is up. Our tourism rate is up. If you've been to the market recently, Pike Place Market, it is busy. If you've been to the waterfront, you should go because if you haven't, go because the new waterfront park is going to be spectacular. And some of the businesses are recording their best ever days there. So we're really hopeful that as we come, look, we've got to climb back. It's going to be hard to recover. We were at a city that had some of the most dynamic economy anywhere, and we had to shut it down. And now we've got to start it up, and the way we do that is get people back into small businesses, because small businesses really are the majority of the businesses in the city of Seattle.
The cruise, one of the test cruises, I think, is going to dock back today. That's a $900 million business for the region, not just for the city, but it's a big impact. Because a lot of people spend money in Seattle before they get on the boat, and then spend a lot of money in Seattle once they get off, sort of extending their vacations. How significant is that to the city to have that cruise business back if that was just the only thing coming?
Each part of it is really important. The cruise industry has always been important in the summer to Seattle. And I really am thankful that our congressional delegation and senators were able to work so that we could have the cruises go to Alaska and skip Canada, because as you know, Canada prohibited all the stops. So these are going to be really important part of it. Getting tourists back, we're seeing now travel numbers across the country are skyrocketing. People are tired of being locked up and they're visiting. One of the places they want to visit is Seattle. So we want to make this as welcoming as possible for them.
What about the downtown businesses that depend on all that office traffic? I was just talking to one of my colleagues today who lives in Ballard, commutes down here. He says it's been a breeze, and he suspects it's because a lot of those tech workers in particular are not back here, which means that they're not buying that morning coffee, they're not grabbing their lunch at the local place by their office. When you look at that entire economic piece, okay, the cruise thing may get solved here. What about getting people back into their offices downtown?
Glenn, it's really important to get people back downtown. It's one of the reasons the city of Seattle is going to be coming back in the fall, and we're doing a hybrid system until then. Look, unfortunately, with the COVID shutdown, turning things back on isn't like flipping a light switch, it's more like a dial. We're going to have to take this a step at a time. We're really fortunate. We have an advantage over most other cities in America because over 80% of people in Seattle are fully vaccinated. That makes it a safe place for people to visit. It also makes it safe for us to reopen our businesses. And so those things working together, you know, it will take time to get back to where we were, but it starts with coming back to our neighborhoods and our communities. Chinatown International District, Pioneer Square, downtown, and then all the other communities are going to be having events as well. I think it's a time to celebrate. We made it through a really, really tough time. There's still people struggling and suffering. We can't forget that. But now as we look forward to the future, this is a really important step.
One of the, you mentioned the 80% fully vaccination rate in Seattle, which is obviously very high, one of the leading numbers in the country, if not the leading number in the country. But we hear a lot of discussion nationally about states that are not there. They're down around 35, 40, 45%. What is your concern level about folks who are not vaccinated coming here? One of those states is next door is Idaho. Is there a concern level on your part when people fly into the airport, they drive here, they want to come tourists, but they may not be vaccinated?
So obviously we've got to watch those trends because we know that, you know, one reason it was so important for us to get a high vaccinated rate is to protect people so that when people do travel here, they are less susceptible. We still have too many people not vaccinated. You know, I want to keep pushing, particularly in some communities we have low rates. We expect the new variant, it is increasing here in the city of Seattle and King County. And as it increases, the people who are most susceptible are the people that aren't vaccinated. We're watching numbers really carefully because people traveling here, if we're protected with our vaccines, the workers and the businesses may be protected, but they still may end up in hospitals here. So we're working really careful still with the healthcare providers to make sure that we're seeing if there's any uptick in number of people hospitalized.
Does the city have its own sort of monitoring program in conjunction with King County Public Health?
King County Public Health and the State Public Health monitor not just positive test counts, but there are also a system to monitor hospital capabilities.
Right, but which has been around through this whole thing. Is there another layer that's been added on?
No, we're using that same thing to
Same
monitor it. Yep.
Any other questions?
You guys want to talk some more about the stuff you're doing?
I might coordinate some poolside.
Oh, Poolside's perfect.
Well, I just want to, so public safety has been a bit of a concern during the pandemic. There have been less regular folk walking around. There's been a lot more homeless folk walking around. Is there anything to address kind of the public safety factor that as businesses do come back and they're maybe afraid to open their doors because of a public safety factor?
So we know that public safety has been a challenge, and we've been working with each neighborhood and community to address kind of what their response is going to be, and it varies from community to community. We also will be announcing next week the first round of the public safety grants for community-based organizations that can do some crime prevention, diversion, and the like, as well as working with the Seattle Police Department as we start to open up. What are those kinds of calls that are most important? But everybody's got to roll up their sleeves on that front. You know, it starts with community-based responses. We go upstream because when police officers are called, so many things have already gone wrong. We're really working at those upstream solutions so that we can have a more vibrant community.
Great. All right. Thanks, everyone. We can coordinate some poolsides, and I think we might take a couple pictures because Lauren has
Come on, spend like it matters. I love that.
Thanks.
How you doing?
It's nice to see you
Good to
again.
see you again. Yeah, and in person.
In person.
I know.
I think this is the first time we haven't seen each other at a storm game.
Exactly, right?
Do we want to do
Oh,
some
sure.
photos?
You want to do some photos? Do you want to do it over an Occidental? Or?